Okay, I want to say hi again, everybody. Hello and welcome. It's me, Wushu Richard, and I want to welcome you to another talk video here. Okay, it's a morning video here, and I want to talk to you about one of my favorite. Okay, I think this is probably one of or the most favorite of mine. Okay, my favorite training method for training martial arts techniques, as in the styles that fit me, my main styles which suit me, which I like to train, but also it's good for, I think, more or less any style of martial arts. So I'm going to share that with you here. Just talking, I've showed many basic training you can do in various videos over the years using this method and or this piece of apparatus, basically natural apparatus. I've shown it, and I want to show more in future too. Bearing in mind, before I get onto this, okay, I want to say a lot of training that I do in the martial arts, of course, doesn't require apparatus as such, things that you use to train with. Well, we're talking about solo training, okay, training by yourself here. And when it comes to working out's working out, and you must work out anyway, but working out's working out, and then you've got martial art techniques, which are martial arts techniques, which is also working out the body moving and stances and stuff. But what I'm trying to say is a lot of techniques you don't need apparatus as such, including myself. Okay, when I'm training, that's what I'm saying to you. There's a lot of training which I like to do, which doesn't require anything. Okay, but I find focus. It's hard to put this. Focus. Like when you train martial arts, you train yourself. Whether you're holding a sword or a stick in your hand, or it's bare hands training, like shadow boxing, or a traditional kung fu style, let's say, whatever, karate, taekwondo, whatever. If you're training by yourself, whether you are training by yourself, or even if you're training with another person, it depends on your movement and your position, how well you fight, right? You're adapting your position when you're fighting with someone. If someone's grappling, whether you're going to move into a position that fits for you, right? If you're in a boxing ring and someone's punching at you, you're going to cover up, or you're going to slip and strike. You're adapting your position. So it's all about your position and movement in relation to the world around you. If you're standing on a bus and the bus tips a little while it turns a corner, you're going to have to try to hold onto that bar, maybe you feel, or adjust your balance on your legs position. You won't have to let go of your baby, your loved one, or put your shopping bags down, unless they're too heavy, of course, because I'm just saying, you'll be able to stand grounded without even having to reach out, So, but you could be on a boat and the boat's rocking on the sea. Are you going to practice a martial art? Have you ever tried that? Practicing a martial arts form or a kata or any skills or techniques while standing on a boat rocking on the sea? It's unpredictable sort of thing, like how much it's going to rock, suddenly it'll turn, and the wind's blowing at you, and you've got rain pouring down, and you close your eyes. You know what I mean? And you're holding 2 cups of water, and you don't want to spin over. Right. And someone's talking to you in a different language, and you're trying to recite something, or you're trying to sing a song while doing it. So I'm trying to say a lot of deep stuff in martial arts, but you're training about your balance, bro. Your legs, Now, but if you're training martial arts, okay, the thing is, I'm trying to say, if you're training martial arts, in a moment I will tell you one of my favorite methods of training, right? But if you're training martial arts, you're always training your position in yourself, your position in relation to the world around you, basically. So moving and altering at whatever speeds, angles, or whatever style, however you're moving, you'll change to various positions. Every position you change into, there's a transition between the other movements. So someone's coming to hit me, I cover up, I hit him in the body, I move to that side, I'm parry, if you're just a basic boxer, let's say, just giving you a basic example there. So the reason I use boxing and things like that, boxing and and talk about MMA and boxing and stuff, is because that's the kind of stuff that people are into nowadays. MMA, for example, so everybody knows basically, if you're into MMA, the sport fighting, you'll know a thing or two about the way people fight in that kind of thing, like basic punches, kick, covering up. Whereas if I talk about traditional kung fu and traditional techniques and all of that, you'll think it's all fancy show, and a lot of people will think, well, what the fuck, how are you going to use that in real life? And that's a sad thing, but I'm trying to use methods to not BS, but I'm trying to use methods to help you understand the concepts, help you understand the concepts of traditional martial arts and what it's all about. Because I promote traditional martial arts mainly, but I love all the martial arts. Now, going back to what I'm saying though, I'm saying though, whatever you do is what you do, but I'm just saying, when you train martial arts though, you can train your focus. So you're training from one position to another position. In between, those are also positions. Like on a clock, you got 12, 1, 2, 3. It's a clock face, let's say. Can you imagine the numbers in between, like the minutes, and then the seconds, and the minute, they got little marks there, So every position you should be able to, is also a position is there. You shouldn't be weak between one position to the next, regardless of if you are fast, slow, hard, soft, or whatever in your technique, relaxed, tense, whatever. You still gotta have that combatness about it. It's got to be there, the mind and body. Not about the level of fluidity or the level of rigidness. See, the level of focused planning into the target, what you're going to do, as opposed to relaxed mind, just flowing as it comes naturally, which is what you want to basically ultimately be able to do, and still win. But what I'm trying to say is, so you're basically training, when you're training by yourself, you're training that you can train, right? You're training, even when you're training with nothing, you're just training on the ground. You can train martial arts standing anywhere in any space, right, and practice movements in thin air, but you're still imagining, So what I'm trying to say is, if you train with some apparatus now, like a punch bag or something, or someone holding a focus mitt for you to strike, or if you're training with a punch bag, punch kick bag, whatever, that's the thing, right? If you're just like people working out with apparatus in the parks, doing pull-ups or whatever they do, it's a strength, it's different things. But it does help you to focus your mind and the physical body into that. And I think we do need to have that. It's like archery is a very good example. Shooting practice for targets, but also archery is a very good thing. Because archery, I've never done archery, but I know, apart from in computer games and Zelda and stuff, and darts, which you can do in games like Shenmue and stuff, my favourite computer game ever. But I'm talking about actual, real things like that, archery or darts and things, or pool. I like to play pool. I don't like snooker much. Or golf even. See, golf, you could talk about a lot of things, but let's say though, okay, archery. So archery, you're focusing on a target, and you don't want to, you get the angle, and then you let go, right? Okay, so, as I say, the thing, whatever. I think I have done it once, actually. I think I did once or twice. I did fire an arrow or two, but going back to what I'm saying, though, into someone's that's only joke, I'm just kidding. But, you're focusing on a target, and there's a line almost, a connection between you and the target, but you can't be deliberate, you can't shake, you've got to be relaxed, but firm enough in your relaxation, like meditation, see, mind, but into some certain position. So like what you're doing, man, yoga. But it's like you're standing there, and then it just happens. Things connect in the way they should. It's like it's a weird thing. So what I'm trying to say is, that tree, or with the target attached to it, or the target on the wall or whatever, it was not actually doing anything. It was just there. It was all you. You see what I mean? But how you connect to certain points and things. So, you know, this is what I want to say there, just briefly about that. Now, I think it's very useful to train with certain apparatus. And in this video, I don't want to actually talk about methods that I train with this, okay? But I want to tell you one thing, just very briefly, and I hope you can join me in the next video to actually know more about this. But there's one thing, and it's training with trees. Now, I don't believe in, you know, striking and hitting nature. I mean, trees are part of nature, right? And they're the things we're learning from to be strong martial artists anyway, in terms of the roots and everything. But I find trees are can be like your best friend, be really, really good for training in martial arts, training your strikes, your stance work, a lot of things. Providing they've got a good root and they don't fall on you. You know, like anything, if you're striking something hard, you don't want to end up breaking your hands. You've got to make sure you gradually do it. But it's that hardness about it. You've got to make sure there's no thorns or anything. But, you know, be careful. Find a smooth one. It can be kind of rough, but, you know, smooth if you can. And you can train all your different techniques, you know, on a tree, a lot of martial art techniques. Either just standing there focusing on the tree, like an imaginary opponent, and just not actually hitting it, or actually hitting it and blocking and practicing all your techniques on it, like, but controlled. So I'm just going to briefly say that there, okay? I think a tree is a very good thing to train on, whether it be a thick tree or a thin tree. Sometimes the things that can hinder that are if the ground is bumpy, or like on a hill or something. But that's also training, right? It's different training too. You know, yeah, you know, be careful if there's a beehive nearby. I'm just saying, you know, if you do train on a tree though, it can really help you in training, I feel, in your posture, your stance work, your blocking, conditioning for your arms, your legs, your hands, however you're going to strike, and focusing on it. It's really, really good for training. A tree is very, very good conditioning. Because when I train on punch bags and stuff, I prefer like big solid ones, like sandbags, you know, but the ones that are so heavy they're hard to move, whether they be full long ones or the half ones. But I like the full long ones for punching and kicking. I like hard, heavy ones. I don't like the ones that feel more like a human body, they say, which like with water inside. Like, I mean, it's okay if you want to do that stuff, but I don't like that kind of thing where it's like, I like it solid, like, you know, because it's like it's going to train you for really digging in. You've got to be careful, don't hurt yourself, you know what I mean? But you're getting those strikes, those blocks, you know what I mean? It's like you can get some resistance. It's not, you know, you can train on walls and stuff, yeah, fair enough, and trees, different things, you know, but you got to be careful because it's solid hard like that. You don't want to hurt yourself too bad. But you know what I mean? See, if I'm training on a big punch bag, I like it to be very, very hard and heavy. You can barely move the thing. And I personally love training with trees mostly. You can train on door frames. I've been known for doing a lot of that. Lamp posts and poles are okay, but the thing with lamp posts and poles is they're metal. And it gives that kind of like a ring, that unnatural vibration. It's like, and I don't like it so much. Whereas with a tree, it just feels more natural, more organic. It's like, but it's still really hard, you know, and it's like rooted. I don't know, it's just such a good training aid. It really is, training with a tree. And I'm not messing around when I say that. It can help you in so many ways. Teach you about root, balance, center lining, and you can train your stances up against it. Throws, so much movement. You can't throw the tree over, but I'm telling you, training your position and your power for all kinds of stuff. Striking, grappling is there. I think anybody, MMA fighters, even, you know, Muay Thai, people, Wing Chun, karate, boxing, kickboxing, you can all train on it. Whatever you do, I don't care if you're sword, weapons, stick fighting, whatever, you can train on a tree for your angling, even just focusing on it too, like moving around and, you know, visualizing the moves. It's really, really good for training. Training on a tree. I'm going to finish this video here. But obviously be careful. It's not nice to be striking nature and stuff, but you know, I wonder if there's more humans or more trees on planet Earth. Stupid fucking question. There's got to be more trees, obviously. Okay then, yeah. But if you get chased down the street by a tree, it's like Mr. Miyagi, isn't it? You know, could you break a log like that? Dunno. Never been attacked by a tree. And if you've seen the Cobra Kai, the new series of Karate Kid, do let me know if you like it, because I've not finished watching the first series yet, so I'm gonna watch the rest. I've got episode 7 to watch. I'm gonna watch it very soon and get through it. I have the whole series, as I say, downloaded. It's just great. You know, and but yeah, you just take care. Martial arts for life. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, let me know some of your training methods, what you like to train with, you know, how you like to train. But we can inspire. We can always inspire each other. But the most important thing is training how we feel comfortable for our techniques, because it's not about hitting something, right? It's not about showing off even. It's not about being in a fancy style. It's not about showing your muscles off. It's not about hitting something fucking hard. It's about training the art of the martial art, the skill for what it's for. And I'm using like a tree or whatever I use, or an open space or whatever I might be using, something or nothing. I'm using it all for a way of learning what I'm doing, conditioning my martial arts. Not only conditioning as in every way, you know, condition my body, my balance, everything. You know, the technique, the line of the movement, and then the static positions, straight positions too, you know. And then when you train with a real person, it's the same thing. You're training with a person, you know what I mean, someone moving, and that's different when you're training with people. And it's always good to get some training with real people, whether it's pushing hands or whether it's boxing, sparring, whatever. It's always good to get a bit of both training if you can. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, train hard and stay safe.